Anything a person says while wearing an outfit like that, it's like if someone handed you a teddy bear and like you pulled the string and it was like, come play with me. You're like, oh wow, thanks, come play with me. And then you pull it and it was like, fuck your dead dad. You're all, what? It's like, pull the string in. It's like, your dad's in hell. You're like, dude, fuck this bear, man. Did you hear what this bear said about my dad? My dad's not in hell. Man, I don't know what to do with this bear. It's like, it's a fucking drawstring bear, dude. And what else does this bear have to say? You better like and subscribe to Jesse on Fire, or else I'm going to go to Leon Edwards and say something nasty about his dad. This is not something you need to get bent out of shape about. This is just he's a sideshow clown. So I know everybody's lost their mind about the thing that Colby said at the press conference to Leon about his father, and everybody, can you believe that this guy went that far? I can't believe it. It's like, all right, just hang on a second, you guys. Just let me tell you what I think about this and then respond to it. Just wait. All right? Just wait for a second. Let me lay out my thoughts on this and then see if they hold any credence with you. So, yeah, I saw the clip. I saw the whole press conference. I thought it was hilarious. The whole thing was hilarious, dude. Colby, he came in dressed like Benjamin Franklin. Look at his outfit. Look at his outfit. He looks insane. It's hilarious. That's how far he's taken this character, that he would come to the presser dressed like that. That is the funniest thing ever. How could anything that this guy says when he's dressed like that be setting the internet on fire? Look at his outfit. Okay? And yes, I realize that's a pretty touchy subject. A guy's murdered father. I get it, dude. I understand. But I'm going to give you 2 reasons that everybody just needs to chill out, dude. Just scale it back a little bit. All right? And I just gave you 1. Okay? Relax. Now, that's reason 1 to just chill. Okay? That's reason 1 to just chill. But there are many other reasons also that I'm going to lay out that are actually a little bit more serious than just he's a sideshow clown. All right? So think about this for a second. What are they doing on that stage? Okay? And I know if everybody thinks they know where I'm going with this, you don't. I'm not. If you think I'm going to go, oh, well, they're promoting the fight. They're just trying to get as many eyeballs on the fight as possible, which is true. Number 1, that is true. And we can talk about that again, or talk about that more in depth after this. But what are they also doing? Okay? What are they also doing? I just want to show you guys, I saw Luke. There isn't much debate. It's horrific and awful. The question everyone should be asking is what it means that this is presented to us as entertainment. Okay, so this is my point. What are they doing up there? Are they up there to entertain? Yes. Are they up there to get eyeballs? Yes. What else are they doing? Okay? It's their last opportunity to affect the mindset of the person that they are going to fight on Saturday. And as much as people want to treat this like it is a regular sport, oh, it's just a sport, man. It's the same as tennis, same as any other one-on-one sport. Pick one. They're all the same. Nope. No, it's not the same. It's not the same as any of those. It's not the same as any other sport. As a matter of fact, pretty easily defensible to say it's not a fucking sport at all in the regard that I'm laying out. What they're doing is they are facing off and they are trying to affect the mindset of their opponent when the activity that they are going to be doing is going into a cage and trying to decapitate each other. The two of the most well-trained murder machines in the history of human life are going to get into a cage and they're going to try to use techniques that land full throttle kicks, punches, elbows, knees in the most damaging way humanly possible. Their incentive is to destroy you. The incentive is to literally destroy that person. If they ended up dying, that would be unfortunate. But if you look at the activity, the only reason that it doesn't end in death is because someone dives in between them. These are death matches. I don't care what do you understand what I'm saying? Like, these are death matches that the only thing that keeps this from being a death match is the fact that there's one other person in the cage that makes one of them stop short of killing the other person. Okay? Jalen Turner, Bobby Green stoppage. Perfect example. That's the end of every single fight if there's not a referee in there. I don't think I need to explain to you what happens if you are strangling someone and you don't let go. They're going into a fucking deathmatch cage on Saturday. Fuck his feelings, dude. Seriously. And I understand what everybody's saying about this. Like, I could easily argue this both ways. But the thing that and I'm not saying everybody should just go out and start saying the most fucked up shit of all time to their opponent. I'm not saying that at all. That is definitely not my point. But as an isolated single instance, right? They are going in on Saturday to try to kill each other. What's the right way to put this? The theme that sits above every other one, as far as I'm concerned, is your right to physical self-preservation. You know what I mean? Bottom line, as long as it's not at the expense of someone else's physical health. You know what I mean? Like, basically, if you're on a construction site and a crane is breaking and coming in your direction, whatever you have to do to get out of the way of the crane is good. As long as you don't take someone else and throw them underneath the crane. Okay? In this case, the crane is Leon Edwards. It's coming down on Colby. Colby is trying to get a psychological edge. And he won that exchange. Leon lost his cool. Leon showed weakness. Leon snapped. That's not strength right there. Like, not being able to stay composed if someone says a thing, especially Leon, who's always composed. All he did is he just showed a vulnerability there. That's it. He just showed a vulnerability. Now, I will say, when you tap into emotion like that, it depends. Like, it can go either way. It can go either way. I am generally of the opinion that emotion like that is bad always going into a fight. I don't see any upside in that at all, except for one, and that is focus. Some people focus better if there's like an overarching layer of anger. Like, not anger, but like, like they're a little bit more fired up, so it makes them focus a little bit more. But it also makes people not use their energy effectively. Makes them make decisions that they wouldn't have made otherwise. Like, this is a death match. He's trying to get in his head. He succeeded. Okay? Let's take a look at some of the other things that people said. So, there isn't much debate. It's horrific and awful. The question everyone should be asking is what it means to be presented as entertainment. Okay, so this is my point, is this is not just entertainment. That's not the only thing that's going on up there. It's entertainment from my seat, from Luke's seat, from your seats. This is just entertainment. Okay, it's not just entertainment for fucking Colby. Right? It's not just entertainment for Colby. And, wait, where did this go? I had another one. Hang on. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't actually seen it, let's just watch it. Oh! Dude, Leon should be that Leon more often. He'd sell more pay-per-views. Leon snapped, son. Look at Colby, dude. Yeah, I would say it's up in the air which direction this goes. Look at, dude, Leon, he could, it's not, dude, he it's not like he just threw the thing. He couldn't contain himself. He couldn't pull it back together. He could not pull it back together right there. I had only watched it the one time. Watch this. After everyone calms him down, Leon cannot pull it together. This struck a nerve for real, for real. Not like just a little bit of a nerve. Watch this. Like they've been separated forever. And look at like this, they've been separated for a long time. Leon he can't let it go, dude. Look at how out of sorts he is. He's all, no, let me take a walk. No, I gotta go get him. That really struck a nerve. And you know what? That's good for Colby. You know? If he just threw the water bottle, whatever. But you watch that again, him pacing around like that, he can't let it go. You're literally looking at a person who has been seriously mentally affected by a thing you said with your words when you're going into a death match. Like I said, these things can go either way. After watching that clip, there is no way that this breaks in the direction of Leon Edwards. No chance. None whatsoever. Like, that broke so hard in Colby's direction. It's crazy. I had not watched that again. I just watched that again for the first time. Watched it again for the first time. But like, this is the second time I had watched that. I cannot tell you how definitive that was. If you're a person like me, where, you know, that's what I do. That is what I do. Look at a person. How's that going to affect his performance? That kind of thing. I'm telling you, that was way worse than I realized in terms of how it affected Leon. Like, focus is your currency in the cage. He literally couldn't even get himself to just sit back down. Colby said one thing. He's dressed like Sideshow Bob. Yeah, so get over it, you guys. You know? Okay, now that's me arguing, you know, that Colby didn't do anything wrong, right? That was me arguing he didn't do anything wrong. All right, well, now I'm going to argue the other side of this, though, okay? Because, candidly, there's no way to argue that was like a cool thing that he said, you know? There's no way to argue that's cool, you know? Well, dude, if Leon didn't want to have people say that about him, he shouldn't have let his dad get murdered when he's a little kid. You know? You reap what you sow, man. If you should have protected your dad, like, that's an unreasonable position to take. But get in the head of the opponent that is trying to kick your head off, I think is a pretty defensible position. Now, that said, I obviously think that this situation actually has me very conflicted when I really think about it, because as I said, this is not really a sport. It's something bigger than that. And when I talk about that in videos, like, I really mean it, where it's like, this is every time these guys get in the cage, their lives are on the line and there's honor in what they do, right? The reason I didn't, and still don't, the reason I can only call power slap a guilty pleasure, so that I watch every once in a while, is because there's no honor in it. It's just two guys slapping each other in the face. There's no preparation. There's no longevity to a career. There's no strategy outside of make a spectacle of yourself and then hit someone in the face as hard as you can. There's no honor in it. You know? There's honor in this. These two guys are going to get into the cage and they're going to fight. Now, Leon has been, generally speaking, just a guy who just goes and does business. I mean, like, he gets up there and he talks trash, but he's pretty much an all business athlete. Colby has gone the exact opposite direction, right? Colby has embraced the show business aspect of the business, which is why he's so successful. All right? There's no mystery to unravel here. If your goal is to succeed in this business, in combat sports, okay, you have to be a good promoter. You want the title fights. You want those things. Well, you live in the paradigm that you live in. You have to be able to promote fights, and you have to be able to make people talk, which is what people are doing. But Is there a way to do that while simultaneously maintaining the honor that you have as a combatant? Probably. Yeah, I think there is. If you look at Khabib. Perfect example. Khabib, and I've always said this and I will continue to say it, Khabib is the most underrated fight promoter of all time. Period. The most underrated fight promoter of all time about his own fights. That guy was incredible at promoting fights. And he never had to do anything that made it seem like he was promoting a fight, but he was absolutely promoting the fight. You know, I want your chicken. Kicks Tony Ferguson's belt off the stage because he says he got it in a street fight. You think Khabib's really mad about that? So he maintains his honor while promoting the fight and giving people something to talk about. Like Tony put his belt down. He kicks the belt off. He says he's never been in a street fight. Khabib doesn't give a shit whether or not Tony Ferguson's been in a street fight. So there are lines that you cross that now you can say that's not honorable anymore. You know, I don't think that Colby's performance last night would be characterized as honorable. You know, that's all there is to it. Like, was it effective? Yes. He really got under Leon's skin in a way that is not going to be. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Leon is going to lose the fight for sure now, but I promise you that if there was an edge gained going into the fight last night, for 100% sure it went to Colby. But he did it at the expense of what many people would consider the honorable, being honorable in the sport. You know what I mean? And you talk about a guy's dead dad. Like, you talk about a guy's dead father who got murdered when he was a kid. You want to know what's really fucked up about it? If you really want to know what's fucked up about it, Colby has two parents, right? Like, both Colby's parents are alive. I remember he's a hot sister or something. Like, he's got a nice, intact nuclear family. So he's talking about a guy who came up super hard in the streets with a father who got murdered when he was a kid. As a person who has a fully intact family, went to college and did the whole, you know what I mean? It's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. All right, there you go. So now I've argued it both ways. Which side are you guys on? Okay, I'm on the first side. The first thing I said is how I feel about this. He's going into a death match. Again, I do want to stress, though, I have very conflicted feelings about this, only right now as I'm saying which side am I on, because I don't want this to just be the norm. I don't want this to be like how everyone goes into fights, is they just try to say the most fucked up thing that you could possibly think of. I don't want that at all. But it's Colby, dude. This is who he is now in this sport. It's not really who he is, but it's who he is in the sport. Anyway, again, sometimes the sport, the people's reaction is honestly I just don't understand it. It's because you have a problem with him saying this thing about his dad, right? You have this thing about him talking about his dad, but you don't have a problem with them going in and trying to kick each other's heads off their necks. It's kind of weird, man. Colby Covington fans might be the weirdest in MMA. He's bad on the mic and was so boring as a fighter that he was going to be cut before he became a Trump supporter. The only reason people are fans of him is because he started spouting his political opinions they agree with. This is the dumb... Wait a minute. That's beige frequency? I was about to be super mean, but beige frequency is my boy, so I won't. But I will say that I don't agree with this. Well, I'm glad that I fucking saw that. Jesus. I'm glad I realized who that was. Jesus. I was about to shit down his throat. And I really like beige frequency. And I really like his content. And so I am definitely not. I'm glad I realized who that was, dude. He would have been like, what the fuck? Dude, like me and him talk, man. He would have literally just been like, Jesus, that came out of nowhere. You just lit me up like that. But I will say I totally disagree with that. That's definitely not what it is, man. Well, actually, you know what? Actually, that kind of is but like, okay, he's missing part of it though, right? So the part that it's like, because yeah, for sure, a big part of why people like him is because he represents like the Trump stuff, for sure. But in the way he laid this out, it was like he was so boring as a fighter, he was going to be cut before he became a Trump supporter. There's time in between there. You know, like it's not like he just went from like, I'm going to get cut to I'm a Trump supporter and then people liked him. It was, you know, Brazil's a dump. Yeah, all you guys are filthy animals. There was that whole period, right? Like where he was ginning up dude, you know what? He's kind of right. He actually is kind of right. But not because of political opinions, you know. If you have the entire society divided into two teams and you're passionately on one of the teams and he's like, I represent this team, pretty straightforward, dude. Anyway, sorry, base frequency. I honestly probably would have actually just shit down your throat with a really stupid take if I hadn't thought about it. All right. So I love you guys. I am going to sign off for now and hopefully enjoyed this video. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I would really love that.